If you are suffering, it might actually be the case that you simply want to suffer. Or at the very least, a part of you wants to suffer. Now, of course, I'm not saying that you are to blame for your suffering, and I'm not trying to diminish your suffering, but I simply want to point to the very strange behavior that our minds sometimes exhibit. So what you might have noticed is that suffering very, very often isn't exactly rational. It's quite clear many times that all the anxious thoughts we are involved with aren't doing anything to actually keep us safe, and they are not doing anything to help us function effectively in the world. So why then do these thoughts keep appearing? And why, more importantly, do we keep identifying with them? Well, the answer to this question simply lies in the one who is aware of these thoughts. If we feel ourselves to be a vulnerable entity that is in need of protection, we are essentially looking at our experience from the filter of being a protector. And this identity has a particular signature in the body. You might feel it as a kind of density in the chest or throat. There are specific thoughts that are co-arising when that identity is present. And the important thing to notice here, first of all, is that this identity isn't something inherently bad. We could say it's just part of this embodiment. This pattern wants to look out for the safety of this body-mind. So it is not fundamentally here to harm us. And we can notice something very fascinating about this identity right now. Why are we, as this protector, so hooked on our thoughts? Why are we so fixated on perpetuating our own anxiety? We are strangely doing so because we assume that will keep us safe. We somehow think that constantly being worried about what is happening or what is going to happen will somehow protect this body-mind. Now, the rational point of view might be to just stop doing that because it has no purpose. But as we are seeing right now, doing that is not quite as simple, because these thoughts are not just appearances to us when we are living from this identity. It is more like that they are what we are. The protector has its identity in these thoughts and in these anxious feelings. So letting go of these thoughts and feelings would be comparable to annihilation for this protector identity. And no identity wants to disappear. The solution is going to be a very scary proposition. So if we want to let go of this self-perpetuating suffering, what we need is, in a sense, a shift of identity. To recognize clearly what we are in the present moment. And when we are clear about this, then letting go of this suffering, anxious identity is just something that happens naturally. As a matter of fact, this identity is self-liberating when we are simply recognizing first who the one is, who is aware of this identity. So allow this identity of anxiety, of being the anxious protector, to simply reveal the one who is aware of that. What is aware of this experience? This awareness clearly is here right now. It is present, but it is not present in a particular location. It's simply here, in no particular place, but in a sense everywhere all at once. Does this awareness have any size or shape or color to it? Does it have any objective characteristics at all? And quite clearly it doesn't. It is simply this ordinary presence, here right now, open and effortlessly awake. See how nothing the mind does enhances or increases this awareness. You can try really hard right now from the mind to be aware, or you can relax fully. But notice how no matter what happens from the body-mind level, ever affects this simple presence. And I'm not talking about something very, very abstract or far away. You are the one who is aware. So I'm talking to you awareness right now. The awareness which is receiving these words. The awareness which you've always been. And as this awareness, how do you relate right now to that anxiety, to that fearful part? All these exact same thoughts can be here right now. And all the same feelings can be here. But how do we as awareness relate to these feelings? Well, the question in a sense is misguided. Because awareness is simply too close to be in a relationship with something. Things can be in relationship with other things. But this presence, this ungraspable awakeness, how could we separate it out from every appearance that is here right now, including that feeling of anxiety and those anxious thoughts? These are simply experiences arising and dissolving in this presence. And note how right now we don't need to perpetuate suffering so that we can be safe. In other words, we don't need to become involved in anxious thoughts to secure completeness in the here and now. It is clear right now that becoming involved in these complications is simply not necessary. And it's not even like we need to let go right now. Letting go is what's already happening. Nothing is stuck in this. Everything is welcome to be here, but just the same, everything is allowed to self-liberate in this presence. So simply familiarize with this, live from this presence, and let life happen from here.